Hello everyone, and welcome to the Giant Bomb Community Tournament.
Dire team banned.
This is our first game. It's Begurubiado versus 90s Nyxtape. I hear some pinging, I don't know what's going on there. Apparently they're doing this as a quick test to make sure that ping is going to work for everyone. Because at the moment we have a team from US West and a team from Europe West, so we're trying to see if the server is going to work. So if it doesn't work, we're going to get in and restart with an alt pick, but for now, these are your first two teams. Let's check out the bans and the picks. First off, we got a Ban Doom and a Brewmaster Doom out of Begurubiado, and a Lycan and a Skywrath Mage out of the Radiant Nyxtape. I mean, those are pretty standard bans. Shadow Shaman on Dire is pretty common these days, especially in the pro games. So we're expecting to see some early push out of Dire. They won't have the Lycan, obviously, so that's no problem. They're going to find other ways around it. Right now, I'm interested in seeing what 90s Nyxtape is going to be picking up. Razor, pretty standard.
Radiant team.
So they're also going to probably go for some early push. They're probably going to get an early mech on this Razor. Group up as 5 as early as they possibly can, get an Ags on him, hit towers as much as possible. Fantastic. What their second pick is going to be, I'm not overly sure, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. I don't know. What goes really well with Razor? What's a fantastic support that goes with Razor? Like, I would say the Shasha, but the Shasha's already gone, obviously. Skywrath, obviously, already gone. Feel like they're probably going to be picking up a support pretty early. Naga Siren. That could be a one-position Naga Siren. That could also be a support Naga Siren? We haven't seen one of those in quite some time. I think it's pretty likely that we're going to just see a farming one-position Naga Siren. Probably to hold back a lot of the push as soon as she gets her Radiance, though that depends how fast she can farm. So what are we looking for out of the Dire at this exact moment? If I were them, I would pick something a little tanky that would give them some initiation. So I would think the Centaur Warrunner might be a pretty strong pick here. Also, yes, I'm aware the announcer volume is quite loud. I will get into fixing that in just a moment. Actually, I think I can do that right now while they're picking. Let's see here. What I'm going to do... Oh, hello. I'm going to pop out of Dota for a second, and I'm just going to turn Dota down in general. Fantastic. So that should be a little quieter for those of you on stream. I hope that's a little better. Right now, we're waiting on the reserve time of the Dire here. Hopefully, we will be finding, like I said, something a little tankier. I would get behind a Centaur pick, because I would look for the early initiations, and he also has enough beef behind him that he's going to survive most initiations from Razor. And hopefully Naga Siren, depending if she gets the net. Slark, that works.
Dire team ban.
You can put Slark basically anywhere. I don't think he fares overly well against Razor in a mid position. I think he might be best maybe solo off if he's going to be against that Naga Siren.
The green team
they ban
is
out that Enigma.
Now.
So I think they're assuming that they want a jungler. They are probably going to be looking for some kind of solo off lane is what they're assuming. I don't really know. I think they're also potentially scared of a team fight that Naga could initiate with her Song. So they could Song in, Razor could pop his ult, Enigma could pop his black hole in the middle of all of this. Shadow Demon, I don't think he was the scariest, unless they think they're going to be going for a Potom, which I don't think is all that likely. No Tinker, no one wants to deal with Tinker.
Radiant team ban.
I think that's probably a pretty wise decision on their part. Tinker is really annoying this patch, and if you accompany him with a Razor and a Naga Siren, you're going to have a hard time, especially if Naga Siren throws down her net. In which case, you're just going to have to sit there and deal with it, unless you're Slark, in which case you can pounce away. Shadow Shaman would immediately die.
5 seconds remaining.
In terms of bans coming out of the Dire side here, sorry, the Radiant side here, let's see, what do we think the Dire is going for? They're looking for probably a middle, so I'm not too sure. It seems like they're having a hard time picking also. Ursa Bear. Interesting.
Radiant team pick.
So maybe they were assuming that was going to be a mid-Slark and they were looking for an off-lane Ursa Bear. Witch Doctor, Razor, Naga. All a very strong combo. You get the Naga Siren ult, you get the Razor ult, you get the Witch Doctor ult, and you're setting up a really strong team fight, especially if that Witch Doctor farms up a bit and gets an Egg Scepter. Then you're just going to be killing that entire team. Slark can obviously Shadow Dance out of it, so he would be safe. But yes, this seems like a pretty scary team that we're getting out of the 90s Nyxtape. It looks like a pretty mid-game focused team, unless the Naga goes Radiance, in which case we're looking for a late game. Invoker out of Begurubiado, so that is your mid. With this team, I think he might want to go Quas Wex just for the counter initiation that you can get out of a Tornado EMP combo, especially against the Razor, who needs his mana pool. Same with the Witch Doctor. Naga doesn't need it as much. I mean, she'll need it to cast her illusions, and, well, actually, you know what? She is pretty mana dependent. Never mind. She's going to be looking to get her illusions out. She's going to look to Riptide. She's going to want to hold down whoever with the net. So, this all depends if they want to go fighting or not. Disruptor is a very good pick, in my opinion, here, especially against the Slarku, because you can put a glimpse on him as soon as he starts running away with his little pounce, and if he doesn't have Shadow Dance, he might be dead. Though, to be fair, I'm actually not positive whether or not you can use Slark's Q, Dark Pact, to get out of glimpse. So, I guess that's something that we can possibly see. Undying is actually giving them the team fight they much need in this game. The Tombstone will be able to hold down most of the Radiant picks here. Naga will be able to song away in case things go really bad, but Razor might have a difficult time escaping. Witch Doctor definitely, and Disruptor definitely. Remaining. Disruptor's going to have to build a Force Staff of some kind, or something for mobility, probably a Blink Dagger. If he wants to get away. Well, not Blink Dagger, obviously, from Undying, because the Tombstone zombies are just going to eat away at you, but... So we're looking at the last tier of bans. Radiant are looking for... some kind of off-lane farmer. It looks like if they're looking to run dual lanes, potentially a jungler. And Dire, it looks like, if I was to guess, I would say they're looking for a one-position farmer. For the Dire, I feel like a strong pick would probably be the Void, which I don't know how it's made it out this far, because you can get Chronosphere up with an EMP inside, or even Sunstrike if he decides to go Exort Invoker. Undying's not going to be able to do much from outside the Chrono. Shadow Shaman can lay his wards out, and yep, there's the Faceless Void ban. I think that's a pretty strong ban for them, so never mind everything I was just saying about the Chrono. In terms of what the Begurubiado is going to be banning here, I think they're looking for some kind of farmer on their offlane position, like I said, or a jungler. I don't feel like Enchantress or Chen are particularly strong here. Even if they're looking for relatively early push, they're not going to have much backup. Naga Siren Illusions can push easily enough, but Razor without eggs has a kind of difficult time hurting the towers unless he steals a lot of damage. So, who would I ban if this was my team? I feel, well, there you go. There's the offlane farmer, Darkseer. Banned and out. So, now we're looking for this farmer either in the jungle or on the offlane. I don't feel like Bounty Hunter is a very good pick for them. He's one of your standard offlaners. Faceless Void is obviously out of the pool. They pulled him out themselves. Who do we feel would be the best in this position? Kind of hard without looking at a giant list of characters at the moment. But feel as though PA might be a decently strong pick here. She can blow up the Shadow Shaman very easily, can blow up the Invoker unless he has a Ghost Walk available. Slark, not so much. Undying, he would have to drop a Tombstone to get rid of her. I feel as though PA might be good, but that would put your Naga Siren in the offlane position, which I don't feel she would do particularly strong against, especially if there's a Shadow Shaman up there to hold her down. Let's see. Who else we have a strong farming position? Actually, I feel as though Alchemist might be a pretty okay pick for them, unless they want to go for something... Oh, well, there you go. A standard offlaner, Bristleback. So that means we're going to be seeing a tri-lane with Witch Doctor, Disruptor, and Naga Siren, which I don't feel is the strongest tri-lane. Naga Siren can hold people down with their net, Witch Doctor can stun with its cask, and Disruptor can give them a blast with whatever that Q ability is called, Thunderstrike. I don't know if they have that much kill potential early. It depends if... I think if they got level 2 and they also have a Maledict available, they would be able to get some kills, but as of this moment, I don't feel they're a particularly strong tri-lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Now, Begurubiado are looking for a one-position farmer. Again, I actually feel the PA would be an okay pick, but against the Bristleback, he would just turn around and just blow her up because she doesn't have that much health. And I don't believe she can evade the spikes that it'd be shooting out, whatever they're called, Quill Spray. So, PA, I would say no. I actually feel a one-position Wraith King would probably be pretty strong for them. Because if he dies in an initiation, it slows down their entire team, which again, like I was saying, they have a difficult time escaping Pugna. They are going for the push strat. Alright, they are looking to push really hard. So, where do they put the Pugna? He doesn't do very well anywhere except for a solo lane, but that's just my opinion. I don't know, this is a difficult thing to lane in my opinion. And tri-lane, no, I don't feel as though they have a very strong tri-lane at all. I guess we'll just have to see what Begurubiado does with this lineup. Excuse me. I'm fighting off a cold. Oh, I also apologize. If I randomly turn off in the middle of this stream, that's because we're currently going through a thunderstorm. It's not very loud right now, but if I lose power, I apologize. There's nothing I can really do about that, but hoping for the best. Once we get in game here, we'll do some introductions, and then hopefully, as long as the server isn't going too crazy, we will have ourselves a game. So, on the Radiant team with 90s Nyxtape, we have Undone Bahamut on the Witch Doctor going support, Razor going mid, it looks like, with Blackmore, John Bordelin going on the offlane with the Bristleback, Karmic on the Naga Siren, looks like your one-position farming Naga Siren, and your Disruptor with a Smoke. That's a no daddy, no! On the Dire side, we have Admirable Dog on the Invoker, we have Mixzac on the Shadow Shaman, Shenju on the Undying, Puke No Nuke on the Pugna, and you're farming one-position Slock with the stand-in 21. Unfortunately, the captain from Bibi was not able to make it to this game. We're not unsure why, but this is our stand-in one position. Fantastic.
30 seconds.
So, we have an Exort Invoker. That's pretty interesting. Let's see here. I don't know how the Exort Invoker does against the... actually, he'd be fine against this Razor. If he's going for the early push, I feel it's a probably strong idea to go for the Exort Invoker, because that means that he will be able to do the early pushing Forge Spirits build with your Exort and your Quas.
Time to get angry with
what are
each
they
other.
pinging out here? Undying's pinging out something with this bottom lane, so it looks like we are getting this tri-lane with the Witch Doctor, the... Naga Siren, and the Disruptor. I still don't feel they have the most killing potential in the game, but I feel they should probably do alright. You have your offlane Bristleback. How's his block going? Pretty good. He's letting the right creep through. Fantastic. Your Slark is getting a decent block also. We have some pinging going out here, so this is a tri-lane, which I don't feel is a very good tri-lane at all, because Pugna really, really benefits. Really benefits from having levels. It's like he needs a level 4 Nether Blast as soon as possible, especially if they're looking for the early pushing build. So we have a hasted Witch Doctor that's looking to get some early damage here. But he's not going to get anything. Let's take a look at our mid line up here. So we have our Razor and we have our Exort Invoker. Let's see how the last hits are going to be doing for either of them. In your mid lane you have pretty even. 1 deny from the Razor, but overall they're doing pretty decent. Off lane, you have this single versus single here, Bristleback versus Slarku. I feel as though Bristleback has a pretty okay time in this lane. If he gets pounced on, he just turns around. And what is this Slarku leveling up anyways? Dark Pact and Pounce, so he's not even stealing any Essence Shift. I don't feel as though he's going to be able to kill this Bristleback very easily. In this tri-lane, how is this Naga farming? not particularly well. She has one last hit. That's not too strong for your farming Naga Siren. I feel as though either one of the members of these tri-lanes should be overly aggressive, because they should be looking for kills from this tri-lane, and from this tri-lane, I mean, they're just trying to protect their Naga, but I feel as though if they got a little kill on them also, they'd be very, very strong. Because that would give Naga the possibility to get her early. What is she building here? No idea. I don't even know why she has this sentry on her. There's no invisible heroes in this lane, but to each their own. Maybe if she put it here, they'd be able to get rid of that ward, and that would be strong. They're pinging out this guy. They know he's here, thanks to this ward, obviously. Also, I don't know if anybody knows how to fix this, but I find when I'm casting that if I ping, it pings twice, and if I draw on the mini-map, it goes crazy. So if anybody has any idea how to fix that, please let me know, because I haven't seen it before, and I don't know how to fix it. So, free 50 gold for the Undying there. And mid-lane mid-lane matchup, doing just about how you'd expect. That's an early Aquila on the Razor. I assume after this he's going to be going either boots or bottle, and this is probably a pretty strong pick for him. Early Bassi on the Bristleback, not a bad choice. The Slarku looks like he's probably going to be going for an early Aquila as well. Do we have any action going down on this lane here? No, nothing particularly. We have an invisible Witch Doctor. Oh, it looks like they're going to try and get an engagement here. Oh, fantastic. There's your early killing potential with the net. So, good job. That's very good for this tri-lane, and this makes it a very hard time for the Dire tri-lane. Again, I don't believe Pugna's the best in a tri-lane situation. He really needs his levels. If he had his ward, if he had his nether ward available, I feel as though they'd be doing a little stronger, because they could potentially be pulling the mana away from the other team and just, like, passively just leaves it over here or something, and they're passively losing their mana. But, whatever. That is their choice. Slarku, let's take a look at last hits again. Your offlane Bristleback is actually leading the charts in terms of last hits. That's pretty fun. So we're going to be looking to see probably an early Vanguard out of this guy. I feel as though if he gets an early Vanguard, he's going to be pretty hard to kill in the early game, and they're actually going to have some push potential. Oh, so it looks like we're getting another kill here, this time out of the Dire side, and they're killing the farming Naga Siren. That's a fantastic pick-off. And look at that, they killed all three. Apparently we are getting lag issues. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's really unfortunate, actually. This is something that they were talking about at the very beginning, because we do have a team from US West as well as Europe West, so it is currently on Europe West, and it seems like the US team is having the harder time here. We'll see if they decide to remake. If they decide to remake, that's a little tough for us, because we're already 4.5 minutes into the game, but we'll see what the admin decides to do. That is not up to me. I'm just a lowly caster. In the mid lane, we have the Razor leading the last hit fight quite significantly, with 7 last hits over the Invoker. Invoker doesn't really have much in terms of items right now, whereas he has his full Aquila, so he has a lot of armor over him, so his right clicks aren't going to do that much, even if he has Exort up. Oh, looks like they're looking to get a kill on this Razor. I think they can get it. Very easy kill. Sunstrike. Bam. Easy, easy kill. So there is an early lead for Bebi here. Let's see, the difference in gold is only 500. That's pretty surprising. I suppose that's because we have the Bristleback farming so well up here. And let's look at the XP. It's actually, yep, it's what we'd expect for Bebi. Oh, sorry. Nyxtape, yeah, it's completely because of the Bristleback farming. Fantastic. Well, the roaming supports are actually working out pretty well here for Bebi. And this is good for them because they are going for this pushing lineup. So, looks like they went a little bit aggro on the bottom lane here. I don't know if they could really kill the Pugna now. I don't think he has his nether ward yet. No, he does. He just leveled it up. So I feel as though now Pugna is in decent fighting shape. You have your rune top. It's a regeneration. This guy's more than happy to take it even though he's full health. Just keeping it out of the Invoker's hand, who isn't even here because he was just killed. Probably the best. It's interesting that neither of them went for bottles. I feel as though the Razor actually benefits from a bottle because of the extra mana regeneration, but if he went for the early Aquila, to each their own. So you have your Witch Doctor roaming around, not too sure what he's looking to accomplish here. Oh, he's just warding up. That's an okay ward for them. I feel as though... nah, that's fine. early boots on the Witch Doctor. It looks like he's looking to get some ganks, but we don't really see him accomplishing this, so I feel as though if they went on this Slarku at the very top, they would have an easy time getting a kill. If... It depends who they brought with them. If they brought the Naga, yes. If they brought the Disruptor, actually, I think they could kill him pretty easily with the Glimpse. How many levels of Glimpse do we have in the Disruptor here? Only one, so actually, I take that back. You would have to be maxing the Glimpse. It seems he went for more Harass and you want to kill him the Tri-Lane, so the Thunderstrike is leveled up. Excuse me. Looks like we're getting another kill potential here on the on the Disruptor, but it looks like it's gonna fail. They needed a Shackle from the Shasha, potentially even a Chicken, but no problem. They're more than happy to farm up here. The Radiant side can't even approach because of this here Tombstone. Well, just about to die. It was only level 1 Tombstone? No, level 2. I think so it lasted longer. Oh yes, duration's 25. Okay, it increases by 5 every level. Learning. I feel as though they could already start pressuring this tower with the Pugna. He has a level 3 Nether Blast. That's going to do decent damage to the tower. Yeah, they're looking to push right here. Actually, they're looking to kill. I feel as though they should be putting pressure on the tower instead, but
something bad is happening.
That's up to them. Again, my opinions don't matter. I'm a lowly caster, so an early Bassy on the Invoker. That isn't something I normally see. Normally you'd see like a Exort Invoker going straight into Phase Boots or something to get the extra damage, extra drums for the extra stats. But Bassy, I guess if his mana is that much of a problem and he feels he needs the right-click protection, that's an okay item choice. You have the early Vanguard on the Bristleback like I was mentioning earlier. I feel as though that's a pretty good pick. That means that if they look to push early, that he can tank pretty well. Slark has not much. He just pulled an interesting Shadow Dance there. I'm not overly sure why he felt the need to do that. If anybody tried to go on him, he could first leap away, and then if they put a net on him or something, he could pounce, and like then he could Shadow Dance? I don't know. Interesting choice. Let's see here. So from the Tri-Lane, which obviously these guys are losing, which is an unfortunate reality. Oh, look at that. Tower's gone. Early push is already working. Pugna almost has level... That's without level 4 Nether Blast. Once they get that level 4 Nether Blast, these towers are just going to melt. So this is a very unfortunate position for this Naga Siren who has no items at all. If the Naga Siren had more items, I would feel better about this. If she had something other than just boots and a poor man's shield, she could potentially be farming, but without that, I don't think they can kill. They might be able to kill this Bristleback, but he's so tanky with that Vanguard. Look, that Sunstrike misses, complete whiff. The Razor's going to come in and try and steal some damage, but look at this. This Bristleback is just turning, and he's going to kill this Undying. I don't think he can kill these guys. He's not going to kill. He's going to come out of this dead. Well, actually, look at that. Look at that health change. Oh my god. I'm a moron. Look at this. Razor, Bristleback, same team. How did I not realize this? My apologies. Let's see. So, what can Team Nyx do to get themselves back into this game? Because, let's see. Oh, they're doing a smoke. They're looking to gank the middle Invoker. I don't believe Invoker has any points in Wex right now, so he does not have an escape. So if they catch him, he's an easy kill because he doesn't have a Ghost Walk available. I think that's a pretty easy gank for them, but they'd also have to worry about the Shasha. The Shasha can easily counter-disrupt their gank if he hexes one of their main damage dealers, such as this guy, but it looks like, no, they're going to look for the Shadow Shaman, who, where did that guy go? He went way over here, so they're way off the mark here. Their smoke is going to run out pretty quick. Actually, it's out as I speak. They're looking to fight this. I don't believe... Well, I think that Dire has the advantage in this fight. Yeah, absolutely. That is a very dead... Oh my, turn off your healing, man. Yes, that was a very one-sided fight in terms of the Dire. They have so much counter-initiation with the Pugna Ward, with the Shasha Hex, and the Shackle. As soon as they can start getting damage, they're easily going to burn down the Nyx, even with the Vanguard on that Bristleback. This is going to be your tier 1 tower mid going down, which is very bad for the Nyx. This means that they're going to have no access to Roshan if these guys decide to go for an early Rosh attempt. I believe they could with the Serpent Wards, but obviously they're not going to be able to right now because the Serpent Wards are down. I think they can kill this Razor very easily. Oh, well, Razor actually picks up a kill. He kills the Pugna, who's the squishiest one on the team. There's a cold snap on the Razor. Undying turning around, stealing his strength. That was an interesting Sunstrike. But yes, we lose the Undying in the process, so that is a 2-0 trade, except for obviously the tower went down, so I feel this still went in Dire's favor. Let's take a look at gold. Yep, as you would expect, it's 2,000 gold in favor of Baby, the Dire team, and the XP from that fight is also about the same. So, again, what does Team Nyx do to get back into this game? I think they need some early levels, or they need some early items on this Razor. He almost has a mech complete. He has it in less than 100 gold. I think that's a good pickup. That means they're going to be able to stay in a fight, especially with their Vanguard Bristleback. Are they looking to kill this Slarku? They might be, but I don't think they can. He has his power treads now. He can just switch to strength, and he's going to be able to tank through more damage than they can put out unless he steals a ton. Excuse me. We have Dire Courier sitting at the secret shop. Hello. And we have the Naga trying to farm up something, you know, something more than her TP and her Sentry Ward, which she's been sitting on since the start of the game. We have your Undying TPing top. It looks like they want to defend this tower. They're expecting a push coming in from this Bristleback and this Razor. But they have 5 top for the Dire. They have 3 top for these guys. You have your Witch Doctor all the way over here with a TP sitting in his inventory, and your Naga Siren who can provide almost nothing. She has a song, but that's about it. She has no damage, she has no sustainability. So right now, I feel as though Dire has a pretty huge advantage despite what the XP graph says, just because they have this Pugna with his, well, still not level 4 Blast, but their push is so strong. What is this Bristleback doing? He's just running right in. He wants to yellow in. I think if Razor popped his ult there, they could be doing a lot more damage, but this is a fantastic engagement for the Radiant team. The Disruptor ult doing a lot of work there, keeping them silenced. This is going to be, you're going to lose your Invoker, you're going to lose your Shadow Shaman. Oh, you're going to lose your Invoker, right? No, he does have 1 point in Wex, but it seems as though they're not going to Ghost Walk him. This Pugna should go down, and we have a chase going on here between the Undying and the Razor, so... Razor, keep running! Do you have phase boots? No, you do not. You already used your mech. I believe Razor may be dead here, though it depends. How much strength can he steal? Oh, he has friends, he has friends. This is a dead Undying. Oh, wait. Oh, the Glimpse actually saved the Undying, which is unfortunate for the Radiant team, but that fight went very much in the Radiant favor. That was a 0-for-2 trade. I'm surprised they didn't get the Invoker, who was really low the entire time, but it looks like he had enough Wex there, like he was looking to call the Ghost Walk in case anything was happening. In the meantime, your Naga Siren was putting some damage on the bottom tower. That's some pretty decent damage. It's below half now. Naga Siren, what does she have for items? Still nothing. It looks like she wants to get this fast Radiance. It's going to be later than you're going to see in pro games, but overall, if this was a pub game, this would be okay timing if she got it before, let's say, 18 minutes. Interesting. It's sad that she has to farm this small camp. I think if she did a pull through, she'd have an easier time, but that's for her to decide. We're going to have an Invis Rune picked up by this Undying, who's going to look to run into the jungle, see who she can spot out, or he can spot out, rather. But the Radiant side saw this. They have this ward here. They ping him out, so they know that there's an invisible guy in the jungle, and the Naga Siren just backs right up. In the mid lane, we've got Pugna just looking to put some pressure here. Disruptor and Bristleback are here also. They're probably suspecting that the Pugna's not alone. That's why they're not engaging on him, but little do they know, it's just the Pugna. On the top lane, we have Invoker with Necrobooks and the Slock looking to push this. Excuse me. I don't believe they're going to be able to get much of a push off. They're just going to blow up these Forged Spirits, and yep, we have 4 Radiant members up here, so they're going to easily defend this push. Undying is looking to kill this Naga Siren, who was easy to spot out because she was microing, and oh wow, look at this response. This is going to be a very dead Undying. So good song by the Naga, good communication by the team. I don't believe he needed to waste that ult on him, but that's fine. That is going to be a dead Undying regardless, and in the meantime, Dire side is going to be pushing up the top tower. And this is going to be an okay trade. An Undying for a tier 1 seems like a completely fair trade for me. I believe that's more gold anyways, going towards the Dire team anyways. Look at that. Pugna's putting a ton of pressure on the mid tower. He's just going to continue nether blasting. Watch this. 200 damage right there. Right on the mid tower. Easy. These guys are going to continue pushing top because they know that all the TPs were used to get bottom. I now believe that this was very much in Dire side's favor. Those TPs actually did them more harm than good, and now that they don't have the Disruptor ult, they're going to have a hard time fighting. So this tower might fall, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of contention here. I don't believe we've seen a single Witch Doctor all this entire game, if I'm not mistaken. But it's possible that I just missed it. Glyph goes out for the Radiant. That's not really going to prevent much. It looks like they were already backing up, and there wasn't even a Forward Spirit alive there. So, not a very good Glyph usage. Oh, there was a Forward Spirit. It was already going back with the Invoker. Dire side, looking to go through the enemy jungle. They were trying to get a D ward. Little they know the ward was over here. Pings everywhere. They're pinging out this Slarku. I'm not sure why. There's no vision for the Radiant over there. Let's see, what does Radiant have for vision right now? If we look here, they have vision here, here,
Dire's middle tower is
and
under
that's
attack.
it. They have rune vision. I feel as though they should be putting a bit more defensive wards for their farming Naga Siren, who's just trying to farm up the jungle, man. Let's see, what does the Dire have for vision? I think this is far better. They'll know if anybody is coming into their jungle, they'll know if anybody is farming the Ancients, and they have a clear view into the Radiant jungle. Super easy. Easy kills. Now, we're looking to get some aggression here from the Radiant side, 90s Nyxtape. They really need a tower. They're going to be falling so far behind in gold. Actually, look at this. The gold's more even than I would have expected, despite the fact that they're down 3 towers. The fact that they're ahead 2 kills is pretty helpful, but the tower race is more important in a game like this, especially against a pushing lineup. And the thing is, I feel as though the Radiant team scales far better into the late game than the Dire team does, with their Naga Siren, with their Razor, and hell, even with their Bristleback. He'll be able to tank most of the damage that the baby Dire side is going to be able to put out. Looks like you're going to try and get a kill on this Naga Siren. She doesn't have a song, so if this Slark chooses to kill her, I believe she could. I'm not sure. Is he going for a Shadow Blade? So they're looking for early kills. I feel as though there's better items you could get on Slark in this game. Yep, here's your early Roche tank with the Serpent Wards, and there's nothing the Radiant can do about this. They don't even know. They must have smoked in. I didn't see. Apologies for that. The Radiant team does see the Shasha right here, so they must suspect something is up, but I think, well, they might try and get this top tower in retaliation. They have 4 here. I feel as though if they don't get this top tower, they're losing out on a lot, and there you go. Roche fell, we have a TP top for counter initiation, and yeah, I feel that was heavily in Dire side's favor. Who took the Aegis in that? Invoker. So, decently strong Aegis carrier. Oh, Naga's just going to song them out, make a this. This guy's going to steal all of the damage he possibly can. 196, 224, that's actually a lot of damage. You can right-click that shot. Yeah, right-click him once, and a blast from his Q, and he's dead. They're following... Oh, that was a pretty decent deafening blast to keep them disarmed and backing up. Oh, man. Come on, you can do it. Kill him. Just kill that Undying. Look how much damage you have. 224. Easy. This is going to translate into a second tower for the Radiant side, and this actually pulls them back into the game. In the meantime, Pugna's pushing the mid tower. He's going to continue blasting this. He's not going to worry about his team. I feel as though if they would have had a Pugna ward up here, that fight would have gone very much in favor of Dire versus the Radiant, and they're going to get a deny on this mid tower. So overall, a fantastic engagement for the Radiant team, and that's going to pull them right back into this game. Now, this is probably a stronger game for the Radiant right now. I feel as though this is way better, and oh, look at that. Tower's gonna fall, Naga Siren illusions. They're still going, someone just got sent back to base. Who was that? That was the Undying, just got glimpsed back to base by the Disruptor. Unfortunately, he might lose his life for it. He stayed a little too long. We still have the Bristleback fighting with his tankiness. Oh, actually, wait, did Disruptor die? No, he didn't. Where is he? He's right here. He's fine. He survived. The Pugna decided to stop chasing. And yep, overall that engagement, though they lost the Roche and they gave it to the Invoker, Aegis was not spent. I feel as though this was a far stronger fight in the end for the Radiant. Now, what's Razor looking to build? He just recently picked up an Aquila. I feel as though he's probably going to look for an Ags, because that will do a lot more for him than anything else.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Especially if they're looking to counter push, and just the extra blasts that you're going to get out of that Egg Scepter are going to do a hell of a lot of damage to this team. I mean, look at this. Shasha, squishy, 758 health. Pugna, squishy, 177 health, more than the Shasha, but still pretty damn squishy. Okay. So he's healing, but he's taking all that damage from the Pugna ward. Oh, the interesting Shasha wards. I don't think they're even going to get killed on the Bristleback with this. There you go. There's the first Witch Doctor all the entire game. It's used to kill a Pugna. We're going to lose the Witch Doctor for it. Slarku gets pulled back by a glimpse, but I feel as though he could have got a kill there. So 2 for 2 engagement. The bristleback going down is actually pretty bad, but I feel as though if Radiant decided they could still go for a push. This Naga Siren is still farming up. She has a relic, so that means that pretty soon we're going to be seeing a Radiance out of this game. Or sorry, a Radiance out of this Naga, which means you're going to be seeing a lot more push power coming out of this Radiant side team. Alright. Dire side, or sorry, that was the Dire mid. Yeah, Dire mid, denied. That's a lot less gold for your Radiant team. But you know what? At this point, I think they're fine. This Naga Siren is maybe in trouble. She has a song up in 5 seconds, but these guys gave up on their chase. No problem. Invis, that's going to be very deadly on Slark. They're going to be looking for a kill with this, no problem. So the only spot they're going to find a kill is in the Radiant mid lane. I don't believe Slarku knows this. I'm going to follow him, so let's find out. Come on, Slark. Find somebody. I'm sure you can do it, man. Oh, are you going to jump on him? That's the real one. If you do it, she's going to song, but yeah, here we go. Incoming song. That's a lot of damage on her. She needs to back right out. She needs to back right out. She needs to back right out. Yep, she should have backed right out. She was way too low. Invoker Sunstriked her down. How many points did we have? A lot. So, we could still see a pretty decent engagement here from the Radiant side. Oh, that Pugna Ward is hurting that guy. Oh. I think he is regenning more than he's getting hurt, but I guess it's just a good way to triangulate exactly where the Pugna Ward is. I haven't seen that before, but that's pretty fantastic. Alright, well, you know what? I think that fight was pretty easily in the Dire side favor because... Oh, are you going to Ghost Walk? You might want to Ghost Walk, my friend. He doesn't have an Invoke up. But yes, I believe that was in the Radiant side favor just because they got rid of that Naga who was trying to farm up her Radiance. This is going to be a very slow Radiance. I said before, if she got it around 18 minutes, that'd be okay for a pub game, but... I don't know. 24-ish, 25-ish minutes, that's pretty slow. Whatever. I still think... Like, if she hadn't died in that engagement, she likely would have had her Radiance by now, which would have been way more beneficial than anything else, so I believe that was a big mistake on the part of the Naga to not have backed up. I believe her team is probably flaming her right now. Oh, Bristleback is going to get caught out by this smoke, guys, but it looks like there's going to be a counter engagement. Razor pops his ult. No, he's too low. He's too low. Well, he does have a mech, does he not? No, he already used it. The Slarky was going to pick off the Razor. The Witch Doctor's just going to dance. He's going to kill the Slark. No, the Slark picks off the Razor. This Bristleback is still just going, and this guy is still just healing and taking Pugna Ward damage. In the meantime, we're going to lose the Invoker, who's going to lose his Aegis, and I think they can kill him a second time if they, we put up the kinetic field. Oh no, he put it up too late. The Invoker's going to get away, and he doesn't have enough mana for a glimpse. He just Ghost walks away, and he gets away scot-free. In the meantime, the Witch Doctor was picked off by the Slarku. I mean, the Witch Doctor was pretty low, and he was taking all those Pugna blasts that do no damage, but... pretty even fight, though the Dire did lose their Aegis on the Invoker. So Naga Siren just picked up her Radiance. That's going to help her farm immensely, though again it is fairly late. I think she needs to look for some kind of sustainability now. She really needs like power treads, if not boots of travel, to keep her pushing all over the map. But I believe that more than that, she needs something like a heart. She needs just raw health. She needs HP to stay alive against the damage that's coming out of this Dire side team from the Pugna Blast, from the... Ooh, excuse me. The Shawshaw wards, the Invoker, everything. So we have pings coming out here. They know that there's a ward. I believe that that was the Naga pinging out a ward spot, unless that was the Undying. So what do we have for Radiant Vision right now? Radiant Vision is only right here. Do they have wards in stock? They do not. Where are the wards located? Wards are sitting on Disruptor. So they need to get some wards up. They need some vision. Roche is going to be up in the next few minutes. I don't actually know how to read this Roche timer. I think this is like the initial 8 minutes, and then beyond that, it could potentially be up anytime after that. I don't know. But let's see what the Dire has for vision. Well, actually, Dire's doing worse than the Radiant for vision right now. They don't have a single ward on the map. That's unfortunate. They're not able to roam through their jungle and get any pickoffs because of this. And you know what? Radiant is slowly pulling ahead. The early push was working very well for Bebi here, but now they're kind of at a stalemate. They need to get pickoffs, they need to get kills before they can push again, and especially they need to kill that Naga Siren. This is going to be an easy kill on the Pugna if they catch him. That's 4 people engaging on one lowly little Pugna. Yeah, this is a dead Pugna. Look at this. Oh yeah. Wait. The cat's bounced up there. Interesting. Yeah, Pugna dead. Free money from the ward. They just gave up a kill for nothing. Pugna was alone. He shouldn't have been alone, especially not on the other side of the river. This is going to be an easy tower for Radiant. Radiant is, though they were very far behind, now they're definitely in the lead. Let's look. In the gold, yep, Nyx is ahead by almost 5,000 gold. In terms of experience, nearly the same. So this Naga Siren's Radiance, though late, is proving to be very strong for Radiant. I feel as though Direside really needs to defend this. I'm not sure why they're not going back to no TP. There's a TP on the Undying. I feel as though he needs to go back, otherwise they're giving up this tier 2. And that gives them very little access to Roshan if they want to engage. Like, they will have the middle tower, but this is almost this is their last outer tower. Radiant still has this outer tower and this outer tower. Like, this is becoming a very one-sided match, where it was one-sided towards the Dire previously, now it's for the Radiant. And look at this, Pugna, super squishy. This guy, super squishy. Look at that, so squishy. There's all these squishy heroes that are so easy to pick off on the Dire side team. And, well, this is actually a pretty good counter engagement by the Dire, killing off their squishy heroes, the Disruptor and the Witch Doctor. They're probably going to kill the Razor here as well, they overextended. So the TP back, I think if that had happened earlier, they would have saved their mid tower, but I think Bristleback, he should have stuck to the Slark. I think they would have killed him. Invoker's just going to Ghost Walk away. He's fine. If Bristleback actually walked around and was able to figure out where he was because of the Ghost Walk feet animation, he'd be able to kill the Invoker just with Blast. But he TP's out, goes back home, heals up. So overall, I do feel as though that engagement ended up going in favor of the Dire side, though it was a bad choice for them to give up this tower. With this one single outer tower remaining, Naga Siren's easily going to be able to slow siege it. Yep, there's her Boots of Travel. So she's looking to just split push. This is going to be kind of a boring game to those watching. Sorry, I don't make the game. But Naga Siren, yep, counter push. Once she gets health, she's really hard to kill. So I feel her next item should be something tanky. It should be a heart. She's just farming with all her illusions. Pretty fun. I'm sure the chat is going to be full of Kappa and ZZZ and Resident Sleepers, but, you know, that's how it is. That's how they needed to play the game, and they were losing so hard early. I'm very impressed that Nyx was able to bring this back. Blackmore doing some work on the Razor, even though he doesn't have that many kills. But the Bristleback, with his early Vanguard, interesting. Vlad's, that's a pretty good choice. Especially for the Naga Siren. I didn't notice that. My apologies for not picking that up. And the pipe is actually pretty strong, especially against Pugna, especially against Shasha, somewhat against Invoker. Depends if he's throwing out Deafening Blast and the like. So Roshan is up, but the the Radiant side did pick this up with their Observer Ward, and the Dire side knows that all these guys are here. So the wards were used on this Roshan, so they committed a lot to this Rosh fight. They're not going to have wards for the next engagement. And Roshan is slowly falling throughout all of this. The Radiant side could just pop in there and steal it. Look, there's even a Tombstone here and a Pugna ward. They were looking to defend this Roshan with their lives. But so far, Radiant has lost nothing. Oh, here comes your engagement. Meteor coming in from the Invoker and a Deafening Blast. Only hits on 2. Kinetic Field out of your Disruptor hits no one. Undying pops is on. They're looking to fight. They want to kill these guys. I don't believe they're going to be able to kill it. Instead, Undying is going to go down. Yep, easy kill on the Undying. He's all alone. Pugna is going to go down here. You're not going to see the Shasha die. Yes, we're probably going to... No, they don't engage on the Shasha. They instead engage on the Necro units. I guess it's a lot of XP, but Slarku is going ham on this Naga Siren, but he's burning down slowly. Does this guy have a Shadow Blade? He does. He does get dusted, and he... Wow, he's actually able to leap out of the net. Did he also have a Dark Pact? No, he does not. This is going to be a dead Slark. Goodbye, Slarku. And this is going to be a free Roshan for the Radiant side. Where Nyxtape was severely behind in the early game, they have brought it back completely. Look at this. Huge gold lead, pretty decent experience lead, and they're going to get a Roshan. They're going to be able to siege, they're probably going to be able to push tier 3s, get racks, and potentially end the game. What are the Dire side going to be able to do against this? Well, they still have the Pugna ward. So that'll do a lot of damage. They still have Invoker to throw out his control spells. He doesn't have much Wex, so he's not going to have like a very long-range Tornado. Or Cyclone, or whatever it's called. Cyclone. Tornado? Yeah. This is going to be a dead Undying. What's he doing out this far? Look at this. They knew they were in the Roshan pit. He's going to waste Tombstone. Easy gold. So they're going to lose the mid tower. Does this guy have an Ags? He doesn't. He went for BKB instead, which is probably a fairly strong choice against this team. A lot of magic damage. Pugna Ward is spent. I think this is going to be a dead Invoker unless he calls up a Ghost Walk, which he doesn't have Invoke available. There he is. He's dead. Yep, and Direside is just going to GG out. In the end, they just lost all of their coordination. That's rather unfortunate, but it was well played by Nyx. Though they were getting dominated in the early game, I feel as though they pulled it back in a really spectacular way. And that was your first game in the Giant Bomb Community Tournaments. If you have any feedback for me, feel free to leave it in the comments of the stream or whatever. But in the meantime, I think there's only one way to wrap up this game, and that is with this. I will see you guys again soon. I'll start up the stream as soon as the next game begins. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you